afternoon, good morning, depending on folks. It's your man on the way, George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, it's November. I hope y'all enjoy your Halloween. It's over. Now we're in a new month, and we're just a month or another month away from a new year. I mean, time is flying, folks. Folks, this is really why I enjoy doing this content. The opportunity to talk to these ladies in sport, especially these ladies who have been competing for a long time, who have been legends, who have made their bones and done a quite amazing things as competitive bodybuilders. Folks, I'm gonna bring them in a second, and I want y'all to be respectful and give your hands applause to an amazing lady from the north of our country, from Canada, living here in the United States. We have here IFBB Pro coach and a friend of mine, the lovely Miss Melanie Spetko. Welcome.
Thank you, George. That's a great,
Hey,
great introduction there.
I got it because you know what? Because I'm a like I said, it's about performance for me. And also I said again, sometimes I'm just a particular type of guy. I'm a particular type of criminal. Sometimes the best of me come out. And the other
Gotcha.
guy, he gets so excited when he gets to talk to someone like you. He just says, "Hello to you, Melanie. It's nice to see you." And just tell you something. You complete me. Okay, folks. So, folks, we'd like to thank Melanie for coming time. She's doing cardio. She's a busy
Yep.
lady. I've been trying to do this for a while, timing, this, and this, but we got her here. So, folks, give her a shout out. Appreciate her. Follow her social media and links in the description and support her. So, ma'am, thank you
Thank
for the
you.
time. Appreciate you
Hey,
for
no
coming.
worries.
Yeah. So, one thing I want to start with, often I'll ask you ladies, what got you started in this sport, as I call it, muscle and masculinity? Please share.
You know what? Actually, it's funny because it started when I was younger, and I spent a lot of time with my mother's best friend, Chris Day, in Canada, and I spent a lot of time with her because growing up, my family life wasn't the greatest. Had a lot of stuff going on. I'm not going to go into too deep of detail because I'm actually thinking about writing a book, and I kind of want to hold all that back. But anyways, she was into bodybuilding in Canada, and I was only about 12 years old. And to me, when I saw her, it was like she was just huge and strong. And she took me to the gym with her sometimes, showed me how to eat. Told me how important protein was. This is at a very young age, but I just really admired her because I felt like not only was her personality strong, but her body was strong and her mental state was strong. And everything that I was going through at such a young age, for me, that just, equated, if I want to be strong and get through this, then I need to be strong physically as well as mentally and emotionally. And that's really what got me started in it, was just like reading all of her books whenever I went over to her place, sitting there watching her go through contest preps. She was all natural at that point, I mean, as a 12-year-old kid, even if she wasn't going to say it. But she competed in a few different competitions. I remember we used to go and train at a gym in Canada. It was in Kitchener, and it was called Popeyes. Now we're talking very, very, very long time ago, like almost 40 years ago. So I'm spilling my age out a little bit there. So yeah, so that's how it basically started with me. I still talk to her to this day. Her and I are good friends, and yeah, so that's what got me here.
Well, that's
You
like I
know,
said. That's a lot of people. They find a way because of somebody that inspired them, and your friend inspired you, and it's amazing story. And like I said, when you have your book put out, I would love to read it because I need to read more books. I'm getting to the point where I read too much. I do too much stuff on the social media, but I love to read books when I get the opportunity. And yeah, and also I remember seeing somewhere that one point doing before you became a bodybuilder, you were even a professional wrestler.
I was actually in Canada. I was training at a training camp for the WWE. So I got to wrestle and do the dark matches. And my last wrestling partner was with. I should have gave sent you a picture so you could show it. Was with you'll remember him hopefully, the Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah, Honky Tonk Man. Yeah, I remember you. Oh yeah, him and Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, yeah. So him and I did a tag team, but I grew up like I started wrestling. I was wrestling with Gail Kim. Beth Phoenix. Let me see who else was in there. I even met John Cena before he was big, like all these guys, and it was a fun time. The reason I didn't last very long before I actually got to, I mean, I made a few appearances, like at the Toronto Sky Dome at the time it was called, and my name at the time was Princess of Power, and I would come out in all like leather and stuff. And I had a little side boy who I would put on a dog collar and a leash, and he would come behind me. It's like, so it was good. It was a good stage. It was a good experience. Unfortunately, I was doing an Oklahoma roll. Not sure if you know what that is, but it's where the your partner's on their all fours. You go and you grab them underneath the belly, and you flip over them and flip them and pin them. So when to do that, the girl that I went and leaned on to flip over, her all fours basically went boom down to the mat. I didn't get to tuck my head, so my forehead caught the mat, flipped us over, and I twisted my head, dislocating four vertebrae in my neck.
Ooh.
Yeah, they literally thought I broke my neck. Thank God I didn't. I just basically they were all like slipped the four discs. So
Yeah.
I was out for a bit, and I decided, you know what, this just isn't worth it. Just is not worth it. So it was fun. It was an experience. It was great, and that really set the stage for me to continue working out and pushing myself even harder to go into bodybuilding. But wrestling at that time, it was like a big thing. China and Lita and the Hardy Boys. Rey Mysterio. It was a lot of fun. When I look at the wrestling now in the WWE with the women, I wouldn't be in it anyways. Let's
Well,
just put it that way. Like you remember Jazz, all those people, man. That was just an awesome time. A really, really awesome time. Now, I think the women of WoW, now they're good. They are good.
yeah, actually, I watch WoW. I watch it every Sunday. It comes on
Do
in a
you?
local channel here, 6 o'clock
Yeah.
every Sunday. It reminds me of Glow back in the day. When I was
Yeah.
a kid, I used to love Glow. Well, at the time I was in my pubescent age, and my favorite was Spanish Red. She's so sexy that red, and she, just
Yeah.
that. My nephews, my one nephew, his favorite was the Russian chick. you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, growing up, I watched wrestling. I grew up with because here in the South, we didn't get to watch WWF, WWE that much because they usually come on like maybe once a month on NBC Network, like Saturday night specials. And
What's funny though is wrestling, sorry to cut you off, in the South there, especially where you are, is really popular.
yeah,
It is like probably one of the biggest draws right there. And I know there's a couple of really good schools there that are sub of the WWE, where
hmm
they actually train them before they get into the WWE
hmm
and their contacts. And it's just, so I'm surprised that it wasn't really available there.
well, growing up, I watched like Chief Wahoo McDaniel, Magna TA, Dusty Rose, the Nature Boy, woo, Ric
Yeah,
Flair,
Ric Flair.
uh, those guys. I mean, I just watched. I was watching a special about Junkyard Dog back in the day.
Yeah,
Hulk Hogan, I just don't want to get on here. Undertaker, used to love to watch him, but
I
I
wasn't. I wasn't a fan either.
yeah, and guys like Stone Cold Steve Austin, he's one of my favorites.
Absolutely, I
Shout out to
love
Stone
Stone Cold.
Cold. So I joke because I got two bad knees like Stone Cold. He just really was just crazy. Here is this from my man Lawrence Perkins. Shout out to man Lawrence Perkins says, "Good morning, Melody and George. Thank you, brother." Also, he says, "Melody, you open doors for a lot of people in the industry of bodybuilding, including the world as well." Thank you, Lawrence. And also,
Oh,
he has
thank you,
here.
Lawrence.
Also, it says, "I would love to read your book as well when start putting out there one day as well, Miss Melody." And he has one more. He says, "Me and my brothers watching wrestling. Yeah, me and my brothers and used to
Yeah,
watch like we had like Raw and
yeah,
had Nitro.
absolutely.
We used to like
Yes,
yeah, because we watched Nitro
Yeah,
first.
Monday Night Raw. Yeah,
Yeah, Yeah, but yeah, I kind of like don't really, like other than maybe every now and then I might follow some people like Jade Cargill. I'm a fan of hers. I think she has great physique. She has great
Yeah.
potential. Still like John Cena. He's not like I say he
Um,
used to be,
hey,
but
you know
yeah,
what though? But look at what he's doing. Like he
yeah,
has advanced himself, and that was the one thing. When I was getting into the wrestling, um, you got to have something to fall back on. The same with bodybuilding. You have to have a career to fall back on. Because I'm going to tell you right now, while you're in it and you're beginning, all you see is stars and bangles and banners and I'm going to do this and I'm going to be the world's this. Okay, but tell me when you get hurt or if you get sick, where are you going after this? Not to be a Debbie Downer, but it's the reality. And it was a harsh reality for me when I got sick. I'm like, well, what am I going to do now?
hmm
Because bodybuilding was all I did for almost 14 years,
hmm
you know? So we can get into more of that later, but you gotta have something to fall back on. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah,
You
I
gotta have
understand.
something to fall back on.
I understand because think about this is not like back in the day. Most of those wrestlers didn't really make a lot of money.
Yep.
The promoters and
Oh
the
yeah.
organizations making lots of money. Like,
Yeah.
and then you remember that story a while back that Jason Ventura wanted to start union for wrestlers, but
Yes.
particular one person who I don't, like I said again, I'm not a fan much of anymore. He
Yeah.
snitched and he messed that up for a lot of wrestlers. Because anything I
Yeah.
do content on mixed martial arts and MMA, and they
Yeah.
also would want to try to push a union, but organizations don't want them to have that. Some of those guys
Yeah.
don't get paid as much as boxers. Even the lowest ranked boxer gets paid more than the highest
Yeah.
top MMA fighter. But
Absolutely.
so when was it? I think you started around about the 2000s when you made your bodybuilding debut, or when was that?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I think it was 2000. I want to say 2007, 2008. I want to say 2007. I think. Um, and I just did like a couple, the warm up shows because back in Canada, I don't know if they still do it now, but we used to have the levels. So you had to compete at level one, and you had to place in the top three. Then they would move you to level two, and you'd have to place in the top three. Then to level three, and you had to place in the top three. Now, if at any point, say I was in level two or even level three, and I don't place in the top three, you have to go back down a level, back down to level two,
Hmm.
and place in the top three to get back into level three. And it's not until you make it to the nationals and you place in the top six, then you can stay at that level and keep trying to get your pro card. But Canada at that time made it really hard. And that's why, when I turned pro, it was really hard to turn pro in Canada. We had only one show to turn pro, and you had to be in the top. No, actually, you just had to win. Um, and that's how you got your pro card. So it took you a really long time to get your pro card, but the shows were always stacked. Always. And the reason being is because we were forced to go through those amateur levels and move up. And every year you just got better and better and better. And then by the time you actually turned pro, you were ready to compete as a pro. You weren't just looking like an amateur that needed to be putting on another 10, 15 pounds of money of muscle.
Well, you say right, 10, 15 pounds of money. That's what you need
Yeah.
to be.
And that's about right too. You need to find something to do
Yeah,
because no joke, this sport is expensive.
yeah. I talk about me. Keith talk about this on my podcast. We talk about how the cost of y'all between for y'all women, the cost is more expensive compared to the guys. The guys that put on a banana hammock and a pair of board shorts. That's about
Yeah.
it. You ladies have to pay for your hair, your makeup, and
Yeah.
just think about your cost of traveling to the shows. Then when you get your pro card, it costs you to pay for the pro card and everything else that comes with it. Plus,
Yeah.
also coaches and
Yeah.
posing and
And even okay,
recovery.
and George, and this is the God's honest truth. I'm not going to say the name of the person who told me this, but when I was competing in Canada, and I did my first Canadian nationals, and I didn't win my pro card. I had one of the judges from that show, very high up in the organization, pulled me aside, and said, "Hey, uh, at the time I had like my front teeth were a little bit crooked. He's like, you need to fix your teeth and get boobs." literally. And I was like, what? I'm like, are you serious right now? He said, yeah, because it would make a whole world of difference. He's like, you only lost by a few points. He's like, if you get your boobs done and you get your teeth fixed, you'll be good to go. Sure enough, I said, okay, fine. I had somebody who's a very good friend of mine said, hey, I'll get it done for you. And I'm like, well, you don't have to, I'll figure it out. And he's like, no, if that's going to make you get your pro card and make the difference for your life, then, we're going to do it. And so I did it. And sure enough, the next year, didn't I win? And I got my pro card. So there's another expense.
Mm.
Uh, you know, I know a lot of women have won without getting their boobs done, but let's compare how many have and how many have. You know what I mean? You're going to see a lot more women that have gotten some altercations done or alterations to their body in order to win. And at the end of the day, it's all about looks too,
Mhm.
especially for the woman.
Yeah, because
They need something they can sell.
yeah, because you presented something. You have to maintain both this bit of femininity, also
Yep.
have that muscle together. Like one person that sticks out, I think somebody um, Wendy Masters. She was like, you know, just her body was crazy. I mean,
You know what, George? She is still awesome. She looks like she did the day that she competed and got her pro card. Like, I swear, that woman has got a fountain of youth in her. She's got not one wrinkle on that face. Like, it's like she hasn't aged. She's pristine. She looks great. She's my best friend. There isn't a day that goes by that we don't talk. Yeah, and she's just an awesome person, awesome soul, and she put a lot into it. Like, she loves this sport more than any other female that I've met.
mhm.
Like, seriously.
Well, I've been in contact with her. I'm hoping maybe someday to get her on here and do an interview with her. I think, her, I think her and I would say honestly, her and Denise Messino brought
Yeah,
in a lot more sex appeal to women's bodybuilding. I was a fan of
absolutely.
before. I mean, but then those two just brought a certain level, especially as they were very well. I can't, the guy, me personally as a fan, I'm not a be all boob guy,
Yeah,
especially, but sometimes I'm still a man.
of course.
We get drawn by like but
Absolutely.
yeah. But I do prefer some of the women like Andrea Shaw, somebody Sheila Black, classic
Like,
colors.
oh yeah, like
Yeah,
Andrea Shaw, she looks absolutely phenomenal. So does Sheila Black. They didn't need any of that. Like, they don't need the boobs and all the other stuff that goes along with it. Their bodies are just so phenomenal. And Andrea Shaw, she's great in every single stage of it. Like, she just doesn't have the muscle, the size, the symmetry. She's also extremely pretty and attractive. She keeps herself very well. She's very well spoken. She treats. I have not seen a negative comment come out of her mouth, not one time. She's just got a really good personality, a good spirit, and those are the kind of women that you want to see at the top. That's kind of those. That's what I want to see representing our sport. I don't want to see any negativity. The girls should just all be like sticking together like a team. And not little cat marks or remarks on outside of it. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
yeah, Andrea Shaw, and then and Sheila Black, two of the top on my list. Absolutely, Sheila made her mark in this sport. She's an amazing woman. She's one of the best performers the sport has ever seen. That's my opinion. As far as doing her routine, she's the one who started bringing in all this crazy, you know, floor routine stuff, and really having great routines put together and doing great routines for other people now.
hmm yeah. That's
Yeah,
pretty good because I know I talked to a lady who just got a pro card named Sharon. She's got a pro card at North Americans, and she works with Sheila.
yeah,
And I knows people who know Sheila, and also with Andrea. A while back, a friend of mine was at the Olympia last year, and she got this magazine for me. And I know this is the thing I always love about this because this is why I enjoy what I do. When I do this content, when I have someone like Andrea Shaw take the time, don't even know me, and
yeah,
tell me and sign this magazine for me and
yeah,
tell me that she appreciates my support. and she loves me. And I'm a fan. I love her. I think I used to have a little thing. My big bro Keith. He used to work with her and John. Her whole
Yep.
trainer. He had
Yep.
that picture of him hugging her. I used to say, "Hey, yeah," but you know what? Me and my brother, we're cool, we're calm. I'm happy
Yeah.
that he's back. So I'm not gonna get jealous of it
Oh,
anymore.
I love
I
Keith.
I get jealous of other people when they be
Yeah.
around my woman, but not my brother. I love him. We got a comment from this is from my man Stephen Praise says, love Sheila Black. Yeah, she had a great physique. I know,
Yeah.
great physique. I mean, there's a long list of women.
Yeah.
So when you made your pro debut, what was that feeling like that first time you became a pro?
Um, it was nerve wracking. It was because you really at that point the women were so all bang on. They are now too. Um, my biggest fear was coming in big enough and hard enough and being able to compete with these women. I think my best show was in maybe was it 2012 or 2013 when I competed in Toronto. Um, I was absolutely conditioned beyond conditioned, and I was up there, and it was first call out was actually. Do you remember Rita Bella and Frida's a girl from Brazil, blonde hair? She actually had won the show. Rita came in second, and funny enough, everybody thought I was going to be third. Well, the night had changed, and then Jennifer, uh, I trained her. I can't remember her name now, her last name. She came in third, and I came in fourth. Um, you want to know the ironic part about that show is I actually coached her. So, an athlete that I coached beat me, but that just shows you what kind of coach I am. I'm still going to bring you in the absolute best I can and make sure that you are in your top condition. And if you beat me, that's great because then that still looks good on me. At the end of the day, because I'm bringing in athletes that I can compete against and not have any kind of feelings or anything like that. It's like, look, we're all on the same team, and it's all individual judges and we can't control that. After the show, I was told I needed to bring down my conditioning a bit, that I was just way, way, way too hard and shredded. But I was so sinewy, you could see like literally everything in my body. It was just crazy. And I don't know if you have any of those pictures from that show or that year. And it was in Toronto. I don't know if there's a way for me to send you a picture while I'm here on cam.
Let me see. I think I can see if I can find something because I'm always on social media and always
Yeah.
some sites will have it, but it may not be the particular one. I know I've seen a picture where let's see if I can pull it up, folks. I think somewhere I pulled off some pictures earlier and I was looking through it. I do remember one. If it's up here somewhere. Yeah, let's do this, folks. Let's jump on Melody's social media for a bit. If you follow her, if you're a fan of hers, if you support her, reach out, let her know, hey, these ladies put a lot of work in. She just disappeared. You still there?
Oh, I'm still here. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
All
just
right.
gazing.
All right. So what we
Just give
do?
me 1 minute here.
Yeah, we give it a minute when she get back. But what we're gonna do, so we're jumping on social media for a little bit. And if you want to follow, like I said again, this lady's a legend, and she has been around for quite some time.
Here,
Um,
George, I'm going to send it to you now.
all righty, all right. And if you want to support her, we appreciate the support. But like I said, guys, this is one rule I tell, and Melody's no fit to you. I say to everybody as a rule of just out of respect, guys. No D pics. Stop it. Get some help. So we're gonna
Well,
jump into
don't be
something.
digging up any of that stuff.
Hey,
Then I
guys are
know
weird
that
like
you've
that.
been watching me on something else you should be. No, I'm kidding.
Guys are weird like that. They don't be caring. They be like, hey, we better be back today, Melody.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I'd be like, no, no, I have a good job now. I don't need no, you know.
no, we don't need that. So we need no problem, folks. So be respectful. So here we are. We're on her social media. This is on IG. You want to
Did you
follow
get
her
the
IG?
did you get the picture I sent you?
Yeah, give me a second. I think I pull it up. Here she is, and this is from a show. I think this looks like this is which show was this one? I think I see that's Monique Jones right there. That's Jennifer Sater. Jennifer Sater, yes, I interviewed Jennifer Sater a while back.
That was Tampa.
Hmm.
That was one of the biggest shows back then in Tampa. We had 3 rows of female bodybuilders. I think Tim Gardner said that was the largest pro show for women bodybuilders in history. I think we had over 30 women, I want to say. And then we had so many women that they let 15 of them go before we even made to the night show. Because they were just like, we cannot rejudge this amount of women. Here's the bottom 15. Thank you for coming out. We'll see you later.
Yeah, and it's, like I say, I recognize there's like I said, there's also a couple of ladies I recognize. Forget the names.
Yeah.
I see you and Sheila there. There's Jennifer
Yep.
Sater right there because I interviewed Jennifer Sater because you know that when she was at the Olympia that year, I
Yeah.
think she fainted, and we talked about that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And at this show, I came in 5th place. A fifth, or was it 4th?
Yeah, like I said,
I
this
think
is impressive. It was honestly,
actually, yeah.
yeah, this is a impressive lineup. I'm honestly going to say this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
This is like, there was Sheila, myself, Kim Perez.
yeah, Kim Perez.
Uh,
Oh my God, she was just her physique was just amazing.
yeah. Yeah.
I
She
mean,
was. She was awesome. That's a show actually. Unfortunately, Kim Perez and I, we were really good friends. Not sure what quite happened, but at that show, they rewarded her the wrong place, and they gave her, I think they gave her 4th place, and they gave me 5th place. But then somebody called me about 5 minutes later after the show was done and said, Melody, that they screwed up. You got 4th place and Kim got 5th.
oh dang.
Um, and that really hurt Kim.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
she was pretty pissed about it.
yeah. You
And
wouldn't be.
unfortunately, it kind of was the demise of our friendship, I guess. Even though it had nothing to do with me, uh, you know, so it was just, that's what happens. It's just like, hey, if it happened to me, I wouldn't have personally taken it that way. If anything, I would have been more upset with the announcers of the show or the judges, whoever calculated it out, and they calculated it out wrong
Hmm.
uh, by a couple points. And then, when some people went back and looked at the points, they were like, no, Melody actually, she came in higher. Which for
Yeah.
me, with that lineup of women, honestly, was, even if I was in the top 6 or the top 10, because of the amount of women in that show, for me, just to even place that high was, it said a lot, you know.
Hmm.
So you got the best of the best, and when you're right up there with them, it's just an amazing feeling,
Yeah.
you know.
Here she is with her client, one Miss Tina S. Williams, who is a dear
Yep.
friend of mine, and you, Tina, have known each other for a long time. You know,
Yeah.
y'all have a good relationship, and you
Yeah.
came
I'm
back.
the one that I actually turned Tina Pro.
Yeah, because you were. It was at the Miss International, which was part
Yeah.
of your the Chicago Pro. Because you
Yep.
remember, as we all remember, the Miss International used to be a great secondary title
Yep.
for Miss Olympia. But then this one person, a particular person who, he's the honored. He
Yep.
kicked your division out of out of the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic, even with his in figure.
Yep.
And and Tina, she looked. I'm honestly, like I said, she looked amazing. I mean,
Yep.
I think we were talking that the day after, I think the day after, her and Keith were going on the way to the Legions, and this is my truthfully. I think she should have been second. Honestly,
Yep.
I I think you brought her and Keith to a level that really was just, I mean, just spectacular.
And I only had they gave me 5 months to do it. They said, "Hey, coach, will you take us back uh, and help us out?" And Keith was actually worried that I wasn't going to do it. And I'm like, "No, man." I'm like, when they left me, it wasn't because. of anything like we had a falling out or anything like that. I just got really ill. I'd had a heart attack. I was in the hospital. I found out that I have a disease that's eventually going to take me out. And I had to start like chemo and everything else, which I'm still doing to this day. And I will have to do chemo every week for the rest of my life, along with, 15 other drugs that I take every morning. But they did it because they were more worried that I needed to focus on my health and I didn't need to be worrying about athletes getting on stage. Uh, you know, so when they saw that I was like starting to feel a bit better, and my doctors, I have a whole team of doctors, started to figure out, the right treatment for me, and my everything was starting to calm down a little bit. Um, they they thought, okay, let's see if she's up for it, you know, and of course I said yes. I love Keith and Tina like they're my family. They are my family, you know, and they're just really really amazing people. So I'm like, yeah, let's do this. And I was just more honored that that's a horrible picture of me. Uh, I was just more honored that they wanted me back as their coach, to help them out. Um, and that for me, that was just, that really, it changed things for me too. Like, not only I'm on a healing path with all my medications and stuff, but now I'm starting to feel better about myself and how I'm looking. Since then, the doctors have given me approval to start training a little bit. Again, not the way that I used to. I will never be allowed to train that way again. That would just put me 6 feet under. But I'm allowed to do my cardio every day and do like circuit training and light weights and stuff like that because I think it'll actually help me keep mobile and not in bed. And of course, I have a job at a hospital. I put myself back through school and I'm working as a lab tech for a really big organization here in California. And I absolutely love my job and I love patients and everything else. That's goes back to when I say you have to have something to fall back on in your life. And so for me, medicine and getting into medicine, just it was interesting to me on all ends because in bodybuilding, it's like the same thing. You have to be a scientist sometimes, to figure things out. And that's why I got involved in the lab at the hospital and wanted to progress that way. Now I'm throwing my career towards more pathology because I did work in the pathology lab for 8 months and I absolutely love pathology. And seeing the different things in that. But back on track, back to Tina. She just, yeah, the way her body responded this time around and stuff, it was just, she's got it. I mean, she's got it. And when I look at her, um, I don't know if this sounds egotistical or not, but I see me in her. I see a part of me in her and just her drive, and what she wants to do and her willingness to do absolutely anything. And Keith is the same way. They both have a drive to be the best that they can possibly be. And I think that's why they work so well together as a couple too, and partners in life. Their goals are similar. They take on their roles and they do it well. They make it work. And hence comes out, the results that we got this year. Keith is looked the best personally I think he's ever looked this year. He brought his waist in. He's more controlled. We kept the size, the same with Tina. We actually brought her in bigger and heavier than she's ever been in a show. And we're just going to keep pushing forward for the next show. So,
Yeah, I agree
I
with
mean,
you because
that's a 1 year difference, but you got to remember, they only gave me 5 months to produce
yeah,
this.
because yeah, she looked like I said. I know they were sending me like every so often see little progress pictures, and Keith and sent me how what we think. Say, wow, I mean, and she looked like I said amazing again. I mean, her back right
Yeah.
here. I remember she sent me a video. Was a video of her in Teresa Vasic. I think it was at the 2019. It was 2019, 2018. Well, I think it's 2019 Savannah Pro. Yeah,
Yeah.
when they had and it was like somebody made a comparison video between the both of them.
Yeah.
And if I got it, I sent to you later. You want to look at it. And it's just that she has really evolved. I mean,
Yeah.
her conditioning is just at a certain level. I think she did it like she was on my podcast the other Monday. She talked about how it really hurt her to leave you because she understood that what you were going through, and
Yeah.
she didn't want to be a burden. She told me she's sitting there, she's crying in the parking lot in
Yeah.
Walmart,
Yeah.
and
'Cause
I
I
mean,
think at that time, I think my ex had called her and told her that I was in the hospital and I had a heart attack, and that just kind of put them over the edge, you know. And Keith, I think it was Keith that told Tina, like, we have no choice, we got to let her heal. And I know that Tina told me, like you said, she was in the parking lot and crying because she didn't want to have to do it, But I told her, you got to do what's good for you. And yeah, I mean, it hurt me. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to keep it real. But at the end of the day, I understood why. You know what I mean? She needed somebody that was more focused and not going through something that I had to battle. And I had to put 100% of my energy into in order to win, you know? So, and that's why, they did it. And I get it. And I respect them for it, you know? But I'm back now, doing as much as I can. If there comes a time again when I can't, I've told them you need to do the same and just walk away. Because I'll be stubborn and sit there, no, I'm good, I can do it. you know? And so, and I do that with everything. Even I'm at work and barely walk, and they're like, Melody, you need to go home or just go home and rest. I'm like, no, I'm good, let's just go. I'll do it till I put myself back in the hospital, which is
mhm.
not a good thing.
No, it's
But
not.
it's my way of keeping myself alive and kicking, you
Yeah,
know?
it kind of reminded what Keith told me when we were doing the podcast. How it was like that. It was so the first Creed movie, how Rocky had cancer, nearly dying, and he still
Yeah,
trained Adonis.
yeah,
And that's a good thing that we have that relationship because we're your coach. I mean, we talked
yeah,
about this how coach relationships are pretty good. Sometimes you have the good relationships, you have the bad relationships. Sometimes you
yeah,
have people jumping from coach to coach,
yeah,
and then you find that right coach. And I think like again with Tina and Keith, they're good people, really good
absolutely.
people, and they wanted to see the best for you. And then
Yeah,
you came back and you did this to Tina. I mean,
yeah,
wow. I mean,
yeah.
she sent me that picture. I said,
You better
uh.
watch it. Your brother there might come knocking on your door.
I told him because I'm gonna pay him back for that time he hugged my girl. Your wife gonna be. I'm gonna hug your wife in front of you because I want my revenge. But I have to let it go. Also, she sent me the pitch. I just got it, and she sent to me. And this is like I said, I mean, women like you back in the day, your physiques were so beautiful, and
Oh,
we
thank you.
as fans, we love y'all because we just excited. We love y'all women. I mean, I can't
Yeah,
when doing this content, I'm gonna make my crime. I'm gonna make my
yeah,
crime, Melody. I'm a muscle her smile.
yeah,
I that's my crime. I know that, but
yeah,
doing this content and talk to you ladies, I get to
yeah,
learn a lot more. Also, the
yeah,
aspects of the sport has it evolved. Like if you compare somebody like okay, good example, someone like Iris Kyle
yep,
to
yeah,
maybe someone like maybe Andrea
yeah,
or Linda Murray to someone like maybe Lynn sorry Sarah Philgis. Have you
yeah,
seen over the time the
yeah,
sport has evolved?
absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. It has evolved. I've talked to Linda Murray on a number of occasions, and she said to me time and time again, she's like, Melody, no word of a lie. Like, she's like, I wouldn't be able to compete against any of these women, and even you guys back when you guys were competing. She's like, that's a whole different ballgame. She said, you guys have knocked it up such like a high notch that she's like, that's just, it's a lot, and I don't know that. I think Linda Murray will always be, an amazing bodybuilder, an amazing inspiration. And I truly believe that if it was at that level when she was competing, she would have done everything that we had done to make it there. You know what I mean? So, but it has evolved. And I look at some of the women now, and I'm like, shoot, I don't even think I could compete against some of these women. You know, like for real. I would get my butt handed to me. And that's okay because, like you said, it's evolved time and time again. Like, science comes through. We find different things, different ways to become that absolute human machine, literally. We just look like we're out of some kind of comic book, and that we're just good to go, almost like the Transformers, kind of type thing.
Yeah. So
But yeah,
yeah. So we think you say that Linda Murray is Optimus Prime.
yeah, yeah. You know what? There we go. That's it. She is. Yeah, we'll call her the Optimus Prime for sure. And
Yeah.
Iris, like Iris, she has an amazing title, an amazing background, and I know Iris a little bit, and I'll tell you, that woman puts in work. She works, and there is not no stone, no pebble, no blade of grass that she won't turn over to make sure she is the best of the best. And that I will give to Iris any day of the week. You
Hmm.
know, um, there's nothing more that you can really say. It's just she's just an amazing female bodybuilder.
Yeah.
You
Because
know,
people say like this. She said she won 10 Miss Olympias, but that's still 10 Olympias compared to some
absolutely.
guys. She surpassed the guys like Lee
Yeah.
Haney,
Yep.
Lee Haney, Linda, Ronnie
Yep.
Coleman. I mean,
Yep.
you just had um, you know, um, Sid Gillen just got her eighth Olympia. She with
Yep.
10. And with
Yep.
only that one loss was to Xenia King, but consistently for
Yep.
9 years. And then
Yep.
at least seven Miss International titles. You
That's
may not
yeah.
like her
Until
Iris
they
as much.
got rid of it, it would have been more had they not gotten rid of the Miss International. I fully believe that she would have matched, Miss O and Miss International, you know, for sure. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah. Well, as I say, cool, like this, is all of walk behind y'all division and establish, we're about to be quietly establishing the heart. And,
yeah.
it's not fair. But as fans, we support you. Here we are here from my man, Lawrence. Shout out to Lawrence. He says, Melody, you always a hero. Every day you breathe life on this planet. Allow others feel the same way. Thank you, brother.
No, thank
Also,
you.
this is from my man Mohammed says, thanks for the interview. Question for Coach. How would you deal with a non-competitor who has 70 pounds of fat to lose, around 35% body fat? So as a coach, what advice would you give, especially somebody who wants to get in shape?
First of all, honestly, it has to start with your mind and spirit. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you're not set in your soul and in your mind that you need to make a life change, because truly that's what it is. For bodybuilders is one thing, we're competing, but I'm talking now as a person who is now just like you're a regular person. You know what I mean? Um, I got like probably a good 30 pounds to lose myself. So I've had to toss out the crap. In every aspect, the crap that was in my mind, crap that was in my soul, that was weighing me down. That has to be set first. That you want to make that change in life, and you got to give it time. You can't just jump in there 1, 2, 3 days of the week and say, "Oh crap, this ain't working for me," or "This diet ain't working for me. I'm hungry." You're not hungry. Your mind is hungry, but your body is not physically hungry. You got enough fat on there to like keep you going for days, weeks probably. You need water. Water's your most important friend, your best friend, uh, and everybody's got to have water. But then after that, once you get your mind and your soul set, and you're on your journey to healing, and you feel strong enough that you can make those changes to your diet, because that comes first. You got to be able to diet. You got to be able to eat food and not be afraid to eat food. I find so many people are like, when I tell them, okay, you got to have 6 meals a day, even if you're not a bodybuilder. You got to feed that machine. It's like stocking a wood, the fire. Okay, here's my what do you call it? Anyways, so here's my comparison: fire to life, fire to losing weight, or even a car. You have to put gas in a car to go. You don't put gas in the car to go. It starts putting out. Then you lose the gas and you lose the drive. You got nothing. You're not moving, right? Body's the same way. But at the same time, what's the quality of gas you putting in? Are you putting in low grade fuel, McDonald's and all that shit? Mid grade fuel, you're still eating. You're eating okay now, but now you're eating like Chipotle and stuff, right? Stuff like that you think is good, or you're eating tacos or burritos. Nah, you don't know what we're putting in it. Okay, now let's start putting premium in there, where you actually start cooking your own meals. You start weighing it out. It don't have to be big meals. I'm telling you right now, they're not going to be huge meals. You got to make sure you get meals in every 3 hours at least. And even if it's just a good shake, and that's your premium gas. Once you get that premium gas in there, you clean out all that old junk. You're going to start running more smooth, faster, stronger. You're not going to be hesitating. You know what I mean? So it all starts with that. So let's go, you're going to go mind, spirit, your soul. Then you're going to clean up your diet. And you're going to start going from your low grade gas to your mid grade gas to your premium gas. After you're running on that premium gas and those, the top, the oil, you're going to put in like full synthetic oil. Okay, so now let's go. Let's go start at the gym, but we're going to start slow at the gym. We're just going to have you do 10 minutes a day, but it has to be consecutive days. Then I'm going to move you up to 15 minutes. Then you're going to go 20, 30, until we get to a level where we see some real good changes and you're positive with it. And that's how you have to treat the body. I believe that whether you're a bodybuilder or whether you're just someone who's trying to lose, 100 pounds, 200 pounds, even 10 pounds, you got to treat your body like you would treat like, a Maserati, and if you don't, you're just going to keep coming back with the same results every single time.
Mhm.
And you're going to
Yeah,
get the same answers every single time.
yeah, I can understand that because at one point, because I was taking care of my mom for 5 or 6 years, and I wasn't taking care of myself. I was
Yeah.
just trying to stay up. And then there's a lot of stuff with that, and doing this content helped me in that process. And when she passed,
Yeah.
I was almost 500 pounds.
Yeah.
And then from talking with you ladies, the knowledge I gained, I started to make some changes in my life. I still have some habits. Like one of my vices is Chinese food. I like Chinese food. There's a
Yeah.
buffet place the next town over. And
Yeah.
and one time me and my brother and my no no brother, well, he's like my brother, my nephew, but we grew up like brothers. And my older sister, his mother, we all went out there, and we ate like big dogs, but still,
Yeah.
I try to be smart eater. Sometimes it's hard to break those habits. Food is
Yeah.
both. I often say food is a weapon and a tool, especially for a
Yes.
competitor or anybody. So we have some comments here. This is from my man Lawrence. It says, "I think a beautiful pictures of you and Tina." Oh, thank you, brother. I know they are. Also, this is from Bodybuilding 101. He says, "Male is the best. God's bless you. You one of my favorite female bodybuilders. What a classy lady."
Oh,
Also,
thank you.
Warrior 2000 says, on the treadmill. Yes, she's on the treadmill. She's doing her cardio, so she's giving us
Yes.
a time. Also, shout out to Warrior. He says, Linda Murray is one of the goats. Yes. Another
Absolutely.
is, he's mentioned also another is Kim Tversky,
Yeah. I
and
love Kim.
shout out to Iris Kyle. Yeah, he mentioned Iris
Yeah.
Kyle. And also my man Stefan Praise says, Linda, greatest of all time. And also we have here
Absolutely.
a comment from, this is from Vinny K. He says, y'all got Melly on. Yes, we do, Vinny. So yeah, appreciate that. And it's good that these guys are fans,
Yeah.
and they enjoy to get talk to see you ladies, especially ladies who like. I got one of my first interviews when I started doing this was with Nancy Lewis,
Oh, I
and
love Nancy. I actually coached her for a minute. Yeah.
yeah, and we still in contact, every so often because she's friends with Janine Lakowski, and Janine's been on here before. I interviewed Sue Price, and that's a legend.
Yep.
I
Love
interviewed
Sue.
a lady. Yeah, interviewed a lady who we were good friends for a past. That is Rondely
Yes.
Huitma,
Quesma.
Yeah,
She was good. She
amazing.
was a good friend of mine. Funny, she actually coached me for a year.
Yeah, I remember she told me she was coaching Michelle Brent when she
Yeah,
came back, and Michelle looked great. I was in contact with Michelle, hoping to get her on. She also, this is why I
yeah,
say I enjoy when I get to talk to you ladies, you
yeah,
legends, you up and comers, because people need to recognize the work y'all put in. Y'all were,
yeah,
maybe like y'all are just the women who really like people like Corey Everson, Rachel
yeah,
McLesh, Linda,
yeah,
Carla Dunlap,
yeah. Oh,
the
yeah,
long
Carter.
list.
She was great.
Yeah, I mean, Beth Francis, she's the one that really changed the sport of women's bodybuilding. And
Yeah,
you see the new up and comers coming now. And,
yeah.
is it anybody you, other than Andrea, is there anybody you pay attention to now that's competing?
That's not competing.
That is competing.
That-
And
Oh, that is competing. Um, uh, I'm really bad with their names now. Uh, it's my bad, because I haven't been really following the sport until Tina, decided to come back. And then I was like, oh, you know what? I better start following the sport again. And it's not that I wasn't really following it. It's just I had so much going on in my own world. Um, I just wasn't really paying attention. And also, too, I never made it to where I wanted to be. I wanted to be on that Miss Olympia stage at least one time, but that wasn't my calling. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm just gonna make sure Tina gets there. So, to the O stage. That's where she's going. Um, and Keith. I want Keith there just as bad as well.
yeah,
So, anyways, there's anybody. Dang it! I think she came in. I want to say third or fourth at the Olympia. He's really petite. Uh, has the best waist. She's, her name's not May. Who came in third and fourth?
that third is actually
Yes.
Ashley Jones. And I'm a fan of hers. I think her
Yes.
physique is just. I just
Yeah.
saw a while back. Tyler Manning just did a critique. He said if she has come in, improve her conditioning, a little more
Yeah.
size,
Yeah.
she could have gotten second. Or
Yeah.
even, I think Ashley is just she. You remember she one thing about her, she was figure
Yeah.
before,
Yeah.
and then went to physique, and then
Yeah.
just took a year off after her last physique competition, and
Yeah.
then came back, won New
Now I
York.
think I think honestly, like she's going to be one for them to watch out for. They really got to watch her coming up. Because I think next year she's probably going to bring it in, banging. She's going to make sure. She has a beautiful physique, and naturally, and it's a natural, beautiful physique. You know what I mean? You can tell the ones that are just built that way. As opposed to the ones that really have to push it. You know, and I can say that as a coach because I've had so many different athletes. There's some athletes that are just natural and they can gain size like in a minute, and there's some that you really got to work and make sure they're getting their pounding their food back and getting their proper training in. And I'm not even saying heavy lifting and training. I'm saying proper training, and I think that's a whole nother show. At the training, because I see too many people with wrong form trying to lift heavy weight, and that's not necessary. Absolutely not necessary. And you can even ask Tina this on next time you speak to her. I'm not all about you squatting 315 or any of that kind of stuff. I don't need you to get injured. I'm not going to be that coach that you go out, a week, 2 weeks before because you're doing something stupid that I don't think that you should be doing. But sometimes, like I said to Tina, I said, drop and Keith, leave your egos at the gym when you're with me. Just drop them and leave them. Because I'll be surprised if I let you even lift a 50-pound weight. And they'll tell you by the end of that workout, they're dying. Their muscles are pumped and full, and they're just completely fatigued and sore, and they feel like their skin is just splitting open. Now, that's what you want to focus on. You know what I mean? So Ashley Jones, she's going to come in. She's like I said, next year, just watch. I think
Mhm.
I think she's going to bring a package that the other girls need to be looking out for. You
Yeah,
know?
I think she's still young. I think she's just in her mid 30s.
Oh,
She got a
she's
lot of time.
shoot! I didn't
Yeah,
even turn pro till I was 36.
yeah. I mean, you hit that level of muscle maturity because sometimes I
Yeah,
think when you really start hitting you, like look at Angela and both Andrea. I think Andrea
Yeah.
just turned 41 just this past few months ago. Andrea's going
Yeah.
to turn 41 next month.
Right.
Sometimes it's just
Yeah, they're still pups.
mhm. Yeah. You look at someone like Margie Martin when she left, she was in top. Or Hella.
Yeah.
Hella looked really
Hella look.
wow.
Yeah. She definitely Hella always brings like she's good. I know some shows, she hit or miss sometimes, but she's always going to bring an impressive package no matter what. She's just one of those competitors, and she's always trying to improve. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Because
look at that.
her and Sherry Priami are working with the same coach. That's Boss Law. I think Outlaw they call him. I think he also has Julia Wetzel as a coach. And this was a back from
Okay.
backstage. I interviewed Sherry. She's a really cool lady. I've been following her for a long time. Hope maybe someday in the future I get her on. And I think,
Yeah.
I think she's probably the a stateswoman in this sport, being like she is. I would say this: Hella is one of the last women who's
Yeah.
been to Olympia as exclusively as a female bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Everybody else has been other divisions, and Hella
Yeah.
is kind of the last one. So, folks, we're not going to hold it too long because we said she give us an hour.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I
if we,
gotta unfortunately headed to work.
yeah. So if we need to, maybe sometime, maybe later down, sometime whenever she gets out of time, we'll have her back on.
Absolutely.
Really, this is a great conversation. I would love to do a part two. I've done part two before because
Yep.
sometimes there's so much, not enough time, so much to talk about. But folks, we do appreciate time for her
No, and
giving
I
us.
will for sure. I promise you, we will do this again soon.
And
This has actually been enjoyable. Well, I thank you,
yeah,
George, and I thank
yeah,
anybody that's in the room. That's to ask the questions and stuff. I love the fans, absolutely. Um, and you that the support. I mean, like Kai Green once said to me, he's like, you may not be the best up on stage, or you might not get the placing that you should deserve, but you are always a people fan. You're a champion in the fans, and that's all. That's all you need. And at the end of the day, it's true. You know,
mm,
we have our fans, and that's what makes us the champs. Aside from the
yeah.
calling out on stage, but you know,
Well, like I said, man, was a great opportunity for me because, like I said, I enjoyed your talks with women like you who've been in sports as long as you have, who've done what you've done. And I hope everything which we covered, because I can understand dealing with stuff like, 'cause I have a pacemaker. I had it for almost 10 years.
oh
And
geez,
and yeah, I'm doing pretty good now. I'm like, one point I went to my doctor, blood pressure a little lot. Still got to work my cholesterol some because it's genetics. But I can
yeah,
understand going through stuff medically. I've seen my mom
yeah,
going through it when she was sick before she passed. Here
yeah.
we got here some comments from a man. Shout out to a man. Lawrence says,
Lawrence,
it was a great interview. Thank you, Lawrence.
oh,
Also, this is
thank you,
from a man,
Lawrence.
Bodybuilding 01. It said, thank you, George and Mel. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you,
Also,
bodybuilding
this is from, born
warrior.
2000. Weird Bodybuilding was born with Richard McLeish. I lived under Corey
Yep,
Everson, and it was Thrive under Linda Murray. And I appreciate
yep.
that. And we do appreciate time she get because she has to go. She has to get ready. She has a job to do. This thing
Yeah,
we might talk about also how the cost of being a bodybuilder. Because people saying like it's not a job. This is an expensive sport. It's an expensive hobby.
sport.
And this is something we'll do a podcast on this Monday. If you have time, maybe
Yeah.
you want to get in. We invite you to guest, give your thoughts. And also the other guy got to say this. He got like this says, Melody, I want to tell you something. You are beautiful.
Thank you. I'll tell you what though, if you move that podcast to like a Wednesday or Thursday, those are my off days, and I could do it at any time of the day. Then,
Well, like I said, we can just do like
but you
do a
always
part
do it.
two. We can
Yeah,
do a part two, and because
yeah.
sometimes it's my muscle talk Mondays. I have it on
What
Mondays,
time?
but
What time are
sometimes
you? What time do you guys go on Mondays?
well, we're going at 5 o'clock Eastern for me, which would be 4 o'clock for Keith, and it'd be like 2 o'clock for you.
2 o'clock for me. Okay, okay.
Yeah. So, and also you have one here coming before we let you go because these guys they get excited. Hey, Melody. Hey, you may not be a new girl here, but whenever they see a girl they love, they act like they act like hey, it's just
Kids
they
in the
act like
candies.
yeah,
Yeah.
kids in the candy store. Shout out to my man Lawrence as he's been here. He's a fan. He follows
Thank you
everyone.
so much,
Be
Lawrence.
blessed and stay humble. Thank you.
Absolutely, Lawrence. Thank
No,
you.
what one of my favorite quotes from favorite movie Batman Begins at the end when Batman says to Jim Gordon, when Jim Gordon says to Batman, he says, I never got a chance to thank you. And Batman turns around and says, you never have to. That's why I do this
Yeah.
channel for you ladies, give out
Yeah.
your voice.
Oh,
So
thank you.
we thank everybody who's here. Shout
Yeah,
outs to my
absolutely.
man Lawrence Perkins, Bodybuilding 101, War 2000, Stephen Prey, Vinny K. All you were here who was here to talk with Melody. I appreciate your support. Shout outs to y'all. Shout out to Melanie again.
Thank you.
Hope you all the best for you.
Yeah.
Good luck to you. Have a good day at work. I don't have a job anymore. I'm home, so I just got stuff I got to work on. But thank you
Shoot, I
again,
got
man.
to do another 12 years before I can retire.
Where I was trying to find a job because of this. Most places don't want to hire you when you have this in your chest.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
And then my mom got sick, and someone had to take care of her because my mom was my woman. I took care of her.
Absolutely.
And so that's the thing is, women come and go, wives and girlfriends come and go, but we lose your mother, you never replace her. But thank you, Melody, for coming on here and talking with us. And hope we get you back again. Shout out to you. I'm gonna call Tina later until I talk to your coach, and I'm gonna be like I'm crying like a little baby. But thank you again. Wish you best of luck. Have a great day, and thank you.
You too. Thank you, George. Thank you, everybody.
All right, folks. That's the legendary Miss Melody Spetko. And I'd like to thank you again. It's your man all the way, George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't like, subscribe. Have a good look, good afternoon, and it's first Friday.
There we go. It's my Monday, so week's gonna begin.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Be blessed.
You too.
Thank you.